Alright, what's going on everybody, and welcome to the Occult Review with me, your host Bellar Wright. Today we're going to go ahead and do our usual thing and review another Dragon Ball Super manga chapter. This one being chapter 66, entitled Moro, Consumer of Worlds, written by Akira Toriyama and art by Toyotaro, but we all know that Toyotaro is doing the heavy duty lifting when it comes to the writing as well. I want to give him credit for that. This one's a little bit different for me today, guys, because I'm going to actually be recording this using OBS. Normally I use a couple of different programs. I just record the audio with Audacity. I collect images. I'm going to collect images as well this time, but I'm recording the visuals for the manga too. The reason I don't want to click through the visuals is because I don't want to get a copyright strike, and I want you guys to actually go ahead to Viz's website, Viz/Shonen Jump. Or better yet, it's going to be www.viz.com/shonen-jump/dragon-ball-super-chapter-66. I'm going to make sure to provide you guys with a link to this in the description below, as well as in the comments. But I'm just letting you guys know, give me a heads up, this will be a little bit different. My audio is going to be a little bit different as well. I'm going to be tuning this to make sure it sounds good to you. It'll be a little bit of a growing pain in the meantime, so if it doesn't sound like it did before, hopefully it'll sound better, but this is the reason. So with this new format, what I'm actually also going to do is I'm going to review things a little bit differently. I'm not going to do the standard play-by-play from panel to panel. I'm going to go through each panel, but what I'll do instead is give you kind of a condensed reading into what's happening and offer my opinion. So we got our group standing on a cliff face, watching the battlefield. This group features everybody that was left with Dende, including the androids, Piccolo, Gohan, and Vegeta. And they're wondering how come the battlefield has gotten further away, so I'm guessing Goku and Moro moved further along than before. It appears that the group is being drained by Moro's abilities. They're mentioning how the planet feels off, and Gohan's body hurts all of a sudden, even though just healed by Dende. It was a little bit of a mystery with the first three panels. Vegeta figures it out right away. He says, well, he questions, he says, is Moro absorbing our energy? And then he flies into the air. He tells everybody else to do it. And then he says, damn it, Kakarot, you've managed to screw it up. So again, this is what a lot of us was thinking as far as the end of the last chapter. We're thinking, we were thinking Goku was a bonehead because he's making some really messed up decisions. A couple of people, mostly people who are, I guess you can call them contrarians, they didn't see anything wrong with what Goku did. Some of their opinions before I kind of understood, because Goku has made decisions like this, but he's never made a decision like this on this level. And the thing I was arguing with those people was that Goku knows when to turn it on and off. He knows when to kill an enemy. He knows when an enemy is too dangerous to stick around. He encouraged Gohan to kill Cell because Cell was too dangerous to keep around. Cell was stronger than Goku. He was, to Goku, he was weaker than Gohan, but it was a threat that Goku knew he couldn't contain. So he was quite all right with killing Cell. And anybody from King Piccolo on previous, same thing. He killed all of them. A lot of people think because of his training with Kami, he learned mercy. But the thing is, he was also willing to kill Raditz once Raditz became too dangerous to contain. And with Majin Buu, willing to kill Majin Buu when he became too dangerous to contain. So there's a lot of precedent for Goku having the common sense. Even though he's foolish and selfish most of the time, he has the common sense to know when an enemy is too big for him to contain, too strong for him to contain. He had no problems killing Yakan as well. That was my argument. We're going forward with this chapter. Moro is laughing at all this energy he's stealing from the earth. Apparently it's a lot. It probably shouldn't be at this point. It feels barely enough to take out Majin, but that's also an element that's going to come into play in this chapter. Goku tells Moro to quit, but Moro is drunk on power. His panel here kind of reminds me of a couple of Marvel villains, actually. One of them is MODOK. With the way he's smiling, this panel kind of reminds me of MODOK from Marvel Comics. mainly how he was depicted in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Also kind of reminds me of Ultron Sigma. And of course, Moro has the big Galactus motif. Moro's throwing punches at Goku in his giant form. Goku basically blocks one punch. He kicks another one of Moro's hands away. But Moro, crafty goat that he is, has another punch, another fist come from under Goku in a very unfortunate area. You know, for those of you who have lowbrow humor, including myself, he uppercuts Goku from below. It's Goku Skyborn. Goku is surprised by the attack, and Moro confirms that his body is the planet itself. He tells Goku he has no place to run. And there's a bunch of hands on the field, which actually reminds me of another Toriyama design from Dragon Quest, this monster called Goopy from Dragon Warrior, back when I used to play. It's just a hand made out of mud from the Dragon Quest / Warrior games. Goku's blocking all the hands, and Beerus says this is bad. The fact that Goku is just dodging Moro's attacks. And the thing is, Goku's on a timer. The planet is going to explode any minute now. And when that happens, the whole universe is going to explode as well. The amount of damage Moro can do at this point is astronomical. So this whole universe could go at any moment, so Goku has to step it up. Each of the characters are wondering if there's anything, mostly Krillin, wondering if there's anything Goku can do to prevent the explosion from happening. And Beerus looks to like he's about to step in. He says, looks like I have no choice. It's a special case, so I'll lend a hand. And Beerus is so confident that he can do this that he steps outside of Whis' bubble. And then he says he can make it quick. So I think for me, this is confirmation, because I've always been a big proponent of the fact that Beerus is still the top dog amongst the lesser mortal fighters. And I include Goku, Jiren, and Broly in that as well. In that they have, you know, they're stronger than a lot of gods. But the thing is, I don't think they've crossed the threshold that Beerus is at yet. I think Beerus, having been the original, as far as we know, the original mortal turned god that was introduced into the story, he's still the top dog. I've always maintained this simply because there's been no explicit statement stating that Beerus has been outclassed. People hang on to the statement that Goku says Broly might be stronger than Beerus. That was not strong enough for me to go, you know, that Beerus was outclassed in any way. And people also use Jiren and Belmont to prove that Jiren's stronger than all the gods. But the thing is, the manga has shown us that Beerus is head and shoulders above pretty much every other god, because he fought them all at once using his own prototype, unfinished version of Ultra Instinct, and he was able to do very well just on his own. And the only one who survived by the end was him and Kitella, and they eliminated each other. But Belmont was playing dead the whole time, so it's just to me it's just a lot of evidence that Beerus is still the strongest, and I think this right here proves it. But that might just be because I already have that belief. But to me, this is more evidence of that. Just keep that in mind. Keep what I'm saying in mind, because I think I'm about to be proven right with Beerus. Anyway, Whis receives an alarm, a message from the Grand Priest. He tells Beerus that they have to go right away because it's a matter involving Maris. And Beerus actually wants to go right away because he's, you know, he's not one to disrespect the Grand Priest in any way. So they hurry off to go to the Grand Priest. There's some shenanigans with Krillin and Jocko and Beerus. So I'll let you guys read that so as not to spoil it. And Whis gives Goku a massive spoiler when it comes to defeating Moro. So Goku is showing that he's not really the hero that we all thought he was. Maybe he's losing his touch over these years. But again, they need Whis to step in to give him a major hint on how to defeat Moro. This just makes me think that Goku can't really handle, I don't know, I don't know. It's tough for me because Goku messed up bad. He messed up really bad in the last couple of chapters, and in this one is just showing me they can't really do anything without the gods because they just keep relying on them, and they've lost their kind of edge in terms of protecting the world. But in any case, Whis gives Goku the biggest hint possible on how to defeat Moro. He tells Goku that he has to strike the gem in his head to release the angelic powers that Moro attained from Beerus. So he tells him directly to shatter the crystal. He makes sure to say this multiple times before he leaves. And he's also effortlessly dodging and putting a stop to Moro's attacks with one finger. And the thing is that destroying Moro's crystal in his head is actually going to let me make sure I'm still recording here right quick, is actually going to restore Earth just perfectly. Like there won't be any damage or anything like that once he does that. In Whis' own words, he says, done properly, that would destroy Moro and leave the Earth intact. And Goku, for whatever reason, you know, Goku normally doesn't question himself. He wonders if he can even pull it off. So I don't know, Goku's almost like a brand new character here. It's almost like, you know, the burden of self-doubt has been inflicted upon him. And I can't think of another time where he's ever been this level of had this level of self-doubt. I remember before he didn't know if he could do Ultra Instinct or not, but it wasn't this level. It was something he thought like, you know, maybe I can do it, maybe I can't. But now what I'm seeing is genuine self-doubt. So that's something new for Goku, at least. Maybe you guys can tell me different, but for me that's something a little bit new for Goku. I can't think of a time he's ever doubted himself this much. Whis tells him to have faith in his own strength, and Goku says, okay, if that's the only way. So Whis and Beerus take off. Beerus tells Goku that even if the Earth blows up, even if it's gone, make sure to save me some food. So I don't think Beerus is being selfish here, but it's kind of funny. And they take off, leaving Goku to face this mountain of a villain called Moro, who's literally a mountain. So Moro continues to grow, and as Goku notices the jewel that he has to destroy, Moro hides the jewel because maybe he's using that Namekian telepathy. Maybe he's using something else. Maybe he's using an angelic ability, but he knows what Goku's up to. So he goes to protect himself, and after a while, the jewel can barely even be seen. Goku can't even really see it. He says he can barely see it. Out of nowhere, Vegeta rushes in, throws a big punch at Moro that a lot of us figured Vegeta was going to come in and step in and do. And this has the effect of draining a lot of energy out of Moro. And Vegeta does these rapid punches, which seem to do very little damage to the Earth, surprisingly, but that's really not his purpose to do damage. So maybe I'm sure he's pulling his punches, but it does pull a lot of energy out of Moro. And Goku says, nice going. Moro's body is deflating. The jewel is coming out more and more. So I guess maybe Moro didn't know what Goku was on to. Maybe his body was just becoming so engorged that the jewel was basically being sucked into his body, basically being covered by the excess of Moro's earthen body. And Vegeta tells Goku to get right away to go ahead and destroy the jewel. Stop talking. Apparently there's a limit to how much energy Vegeta can rip from Moro. And so Goku goes and he does this really cool dash towards Moro's forehead. Moro's trying to take him out, but Goku's a bit too fast. And Moro gets the hand in front of Goku. Goku bursts right through it. Very awesome panels. This is some top tier action from Toyotaro. I really like all of these panels. I'll try to get them all in here. I don't like to like rapid fire panels like that, but I'll try to get all these panels in here because they're all pretty good. So I'll give that a little bit time to breathe. You guys can see them all, and after a while, Goku gets to Moro. He gets through this layer of hands to the last hand, and the last hand proves to be too thick. Moro kind of reinforces it, and it stretches out to where it catches Goku at the last possible moment before he's about to tag Moro in the forehead. And I suppose Moro starts to drain Goku. Maybe that's what's going on. And Vegeta's like, oh come on, enough nonsense. So Vegeta's at his limit, and yeah, he's also being drained because he's on the ground. So he's pulling energy out of Moro, but the fact that he's touching the earth means that Moro is also draining his energy. So Vegeta mentions that he's being drained faster than he can outstrip Moro's spirit. So Goku says, darn Beerus did it, so why can't I? I guess I still don't have enough God power. And it looks like Krillin and Jacko noticed that Goku couldn't reach the crystal. Jacko overhears Goku say God power, and he rushes off and tells Krillin that he has to run an errand. So apparently Jacko has an idea of what to do next to get Goku some more God power. Krillin wonders what he's up to, but Jacko's already gone. And Goku is drained out of Ultra Instinct, so he's back to base form. Vegeta tells him don't power down, but Goku is all of his power is getting sucked away by Moro. And everybody else shows up. Now all of Goku's other allies. We got Piccolo, Gohan, Yamcha, Tien, and Chaozu. So it's really good to see all the guys showing up again. They all show up behind Vegeta to lend a hand. And Piccolo comes up with a really brilliant idea. He says, your spirit fission, can you do it in reverse? And Vegeta's like, what? So he didn't consider this. And so Piccolo, he explains himself. He says, I'm asking if you can gather up chi and give it to Goku. And this shocks Vegeta, and he says, yes, it's possible. It's the same principle. And Piccolo offers another suggestion. He tells Vegeta, yeah, you need to give him our chi. Go ahead and give it to him. And they hurry up, and Vegeta says, yeah, go ahead, hand it over. And Piccolo wonders if it's worth giving. And Krillin also gives up his chi. And Piccolo telepathically contacts Dende and asks him to give his chi along with the people at the sanctuary, Kami Sanctuary. So Dende goes ahead and does that. We have all of our side characters here at the our non-combat side characters here at the lookout. We have Bulma, Eska, Popo. We have the Turtle. We have Ox King, Chi Chi, Pilaf and his gang, Videl, Pan, Hercule, War, and Oolong, and also Android 18's daughter. And Piccolo also telepathically contacts Goten and Trunks, have them give up their chi as well. And Goten and Trunks didn't even know a battle was going on. So their chi sensing abilities are kinda out of whack. They gotta train that, because there is God power going on, but at the same time, Piccolo, Gohan, and the Earthlings are all raising their chi, so they probably should have sent something by now. But anyway, they didn't even know about the battle. So Vegeta gets a huge handful of chi. So I did see some panels. Some draft panels of this, I guess, or some leaked panels of this, and I thought this was Vegeta doing the spirit bomb, but this isn't the spirit bomb. This is just friends and family giving their chi. I don't think this is the same chi as the spirit bomb. I don't think this is Genki. It could be, but I think this is just regular chi being channeled through Vegeta, and it's really cool. My favorite panel here is actually the panel of the whole group, the Earthlings, Piccolo, Gohan, and Vegeta, all in a circle, all gathering ki to give Goku. It's really cool. It reminds me of the Broly movie, but also of the Cell Saga, which all that stuff happened around the same time, if you include the Broly movie into canon. But Vegeta's surprised about how large the chi is. He hurries up and adds his own chi to the mix. Throws it at Goku. It's enough to power Goku up to Super Saiyan Blue. And there's an interesting couple of panels here. Really good art from Toyotaro. But it's just not enough to turn Goku Ultra Instinct. I attribute that to the everybody being tired, everybody being half dead, even with Dende's healing. It's just not enough. But even so, it might not be enough either way it goes to trigger Ultra Instinct. It might just be on the cusp of what they need to get it. Because Vegeta just isn't quite there yet on the Ultra Instinct level. Everybody's drained from the effort. We got panels of Bulma and Dende being out of breath. And Jacko shows up to the lookout in his spaceship. He's asking where Majin Buu is because they're looking for his power. And Bulma says he's sleeping. So they go ahead and we cut back to the battlefield, and Moro has grown even bigger. And he has Goku in his palms. He's crushing him. Very similar to how Grade 8 Vegeta did, but it's a pretty good panel. Moro looks pretty disgusting at this point. Like his horns are like ridges, and his body is like massive and muscular, but fat at the same time. It's really like he has no neck. It's kind of gross. Goku says, "Yeah, sorry guys, it's my fault." He's being crushed just like the Great Ape did before. Like I said, everybody's thinking it's over. Yamcha comes up with a brilliant plan, but he doesn't know the full picture. He suggests that they use the Dragon Balls. He suggests they leave the planet first, then use the Dragon Balls to fix everything. He admits that the Dragon Balls on Earth will be destroyed, but he's talking about the giant space Dragon Balls. He wonders if they can collect them again and use the Super Dragon Balls effectively to wish the Earth back. But Krillin, who knows more of the full picture, he says it won't work because when Moro explodes, the whole galaxy goes with him. So that's what Whis explained to Krillin. And so I'll give Tien his credit here. He says, so even the Dragon Balls in space will be dust. And yeah, it's a bummer at this point. Everybody's kind of down on their luck. Vegeta says there's no time left, not even for that. And that the monster has already gone insane. And there's this I'm gonna make sure to get you guys a close-up of this face here that Moro is making. Moro really has gone insane. He's lost all sense entirely. I'll give you a close-up of the face in that one panel, then I'll give you the panel where he's just by himself and his face just look crazy. And he got the crazy laugh going. And Vegeta says that Moro will explode on his own no matter what we do. And Krillin says we have to at least get Goku back. So these guys are true bros until the end. Even though they're all gonna explode, they're like, man, we can't let him hold on to Goku while he does. Goku can't just die alone like that. We got to get our boy, save him, and we can all die together, I guess. And yep, that's what Krillin says again. He says we can't let him die like that. Gohan volunteers to go with Krillin, and Tien and Yamcha also volunteer. Tien saying it's better than us sitting back and waiting for death. So they're gonna save Goku no matter what, even though the end is near. And Yamcha also laments that he's gonna die a bachelor after everything that's happened. But the first one to notice something is Chaosu. Chaosu noticed a huge orb of energy showing up behind him. Next to notice are Yamcha and Tien, and then Piccolo and Vegeta notice that a huge orb of spirit power is coming towards Goku. It almost looks like a spirit bomb. And if we didn't have Goku here saying that is God power and that he feels he feels divine strength, I would think that this was a spirit bomb coming out of nowhere. And Vegeta says, but how? This amount is ridiculous. Who sent this? And here we get probably the best panel of the entire chapter here. We get a couple of panels, about 5 in total, showing landscapes. We got three showing landscapes, and then we zoom in on the Dai Kaioshin. He's holding a little boy, and we see that the little boy is Oob, and then we get a nice big close-up of Oob stretching his hand out towards the heavens, and that's going to be where that divine chi comes from. So This is amazing. This is super amazing. This panel in and of itself is really good. I like the way Oob is drawn here. In all honesty and truthfulness, Oob's contribution, like if Vegeta's contribution didn't do much, if Piccolo and Gohan's contribution didn't do much, I don't really think Oob's contribution should have done much as well, unless he's stronger than we think he is, unless he's far stronger than Kid Buu. Unless he's far stronger than any god tier character at this point. I guess with my head canon, I believe he's about as strong as I think he's. I always thought he was a little bit weaker than Kid Buu, to be honest, because Goku was fighting him in his base in the tournament. But yeah, I think in my head, this kid is about as strong as Kid Buu, but he might be stronger. So I'm saying that because I don't think his contribution would really do as much as it's doing here. But you know what? For drama's sake, I'm gonna let that go. We don't need to always use logic in these situations because this is a really cool moment. And it doesn't really matter. Maybe it's a combination of his abilities and the Dai Kaioshin as well. That could be something. Maybe it could be his ability, Dai Kaioshin, and Majin Buu's abilities. All three of them give the energies together. And we all know that Dai Kaioshin has some sort of power up as well. So did Majin Buu, I believe. So it's fine. It's fine. I didn't question that as hard as I'm questioning it now, but I'm just throwing some I'm just playing devil's advocate basically. And so everybody's surprised that Oob made the contribution. And actually I didn't read this part before. We have Dende explaining how this works. He says, of course, the great Lord of Lords' divine power must have gone to the evil half of Majin Buu during the split. Okay. Yep, it sure did. Okay, so Majin Buu was strong, but his power was also amplified by Dai Kaioshin. So with Dai Kaioshin's power in Oob now, it added quite a lot to his own power. Dende further explains it. He says, then that means Oob inherited that same power. Evil Buu's reincarnation was born on Earth with a lucky break, is what Jacko says. Then we cut to Oob and Dai Kaioshin. Oob says, is this right? I don't know what I'm doing. Dai Kaioshin says, yeah, that's perfect. Thank you and sorry for all the sudden trouble. So I imagine Dai Kaioshin just showed up out of nowhere and just told him to point his hand towards the sky to help out. Really cool panels. All the panels with Oob are really cool. So I hope you guys enjoy all of these. And yeah, we get the big ass spirit bomb, and it looks like Vegeta's chucking it at Moro, but he says, because he doesn't know whose chi this belongs to, he says, whoever's chi this is, take it and use it for another round of Ultra Instinct. And he chucks it at Goku, just like Goku would chuck the spirit bomb. Vegeta chucks this thing at Goku, with the same little pose, his like arms below his torso. Same pose, pretty cool. And the energy engulfs Goku and Moro, engulfs Goku completely, engulfs Moro's hands, and Goku does the thing that pissed the internet off from the drafts we saw. He does the gigantification. And before this chapter came out, before I saw the drafts, I thought that gigantification was basically what Piccolo used against Goku in the Budokai. And also low-key what he used against Garlic Jr. in the filler episodes, to a lesser degree anyway. But it apparently is an energy construct. This apparently is something we haven't seen before, which is what annoyed most of the community. I still think it's a bit of an ass pull, because even though it was previously, there were panels previously that told us that, you know, Goku might know this. The thing is, there was at least one good opportunity for him to use this technique in canon material, and that was against Analyza in the anime. In the manga, Analyza was made a joke out of. But if there was even a panel of Goku like thinking like, oh, maybe I should use that to take on Analyza, this technique wouldn't feel as out of nowhere, and it just leave a mystery. Some of us would think like, oh, maybe he's talking about Ultra Instinct, But he could have been talking about this. I think that the crumb should have been laid that he knew this technique far before we saw Vegeta training with Pibara. But as it stands, this thing doesn't upset me that much. I just wish there was more ground laid for it. And it does, even though the non-canon material didn't know about it, it does bring some questions into the fact that Goku could have used this against, what was his name? The dragon from Wrath of Dragon, Hirudegarn. He could have used this against Hirudegarn and a few other non-canon enemies, since he's apparently had this technique since Yardrat. Or he could have even used it to yeet Cell into outer space. Of course, he probably didn't have enough energy to do so back then at the time. But still, it kind of brings into question, like, if he's had this technique the whole time, there's a few things he could have used it for. But like I said, it doesn't bother me that much. I think there's enough of a reason why he didn't use it. It probably uses a ton of energy and it's probably not so effective. He probably learned to not trust giant forms when Piccolo used it against him. So, doesn't upset me that much, but it looks cool. And a lot of people compare this to Sasuke's Susanoo. And the same thing with other Uchiha characters when they use large energy avatars. Basically, this is Dragon Ball's own version of it. This is the we've seen some crazy things be generated with chi. I don't know if, I'm guessing multi-form is a chi based attack. I'm guessing Tien's 4 witches are chi based as well. And those might be the craziest things we've seen chi do. If those are chi based, I still don't know. I don't even know if Piccolo's gigantification is chi based, because it's a different type of gigantification. It might just be a racial skill, which is what most of us thought it was before. But this here might be the craziest use of chi, whatever you want to call it, in Dragon Ball. It's a gigantic energy construct body. Basically, he made his own giant body, and it looks just like him. It's very crafty. It's something you wouldn't think Goku would actually be able to construct. Is almost to the level of something from Hunter x Hunter. Like, that's how creative this thing is. It seems a bit too precise and artistic for like, can you imagine like Goku like sculpting a key anything? Like, we've never even seen Goku use like key weapons. We've only seen him like put key around his fingers and things like that. We've never seen him wield key anything other than blasts and amplifying his own punches and kicks and things like that. So it's just weird for Goku to be using this. Like, maybe if Vegeta used this after he was taught it by Pibara, I don't know. Like I said, it doesn't bother me, but it is weird. It is awfully weird, but it's cool. But I mean, it's cool. And he basically Goku basically grapples with giant Moro. Goku's own avatar is bigger than Moro's current body, and Goku forces him down into the ground. And they get nose to nose, whatever classifies as Moro's nose at the moment. They get nose to nose. Goku's looking down on Moro. And if you didn't notice, Goku's body was inside the forehead of his ki-based avatar. Goku comes out of the avatar with a big punch, really cool looking punch, and it lands flush to Moro's gem. There's a reaction shot of everybody. There's another cool looking panel of Goku's avatar looking very stern. And when I say artistic, when I say sculpted, like, this thing looks just like Goku. We have the big panel where we see very precise looking energy construct with eyebrows, with a nose, with ridges in his nose, with his mouth, with his chin, with indents, with dimples. Under his chin, we got hair follicles, we got the inside of the ear. Very artistic. These are things I can't even draw. Goku can just like conjure them like nobody's business. So when you just think about it for a little bit more than 2 seconds, it's way too ridiculous. But you gotta let this stuff go. The only reason I'm enjoying Super at the moment is because I turn my brain off when I look at it. So You just gotta do that. You gotta turn your brain off. It's fine. It's fine. Just accept it for what it is. So we cut to a panel of the Earth from space. Whis notices what's happening on Earth. Something catches his attention. Then we get a smile from Whis as Goku cracks through Moro's gym. And there's a big explosion. The mountain that is Moro's body crumbles. We see Moro's eyeballs looking really gross. And then there's a huge explosion that erupts from the Earth. Everybody's blanketed by debris, including Krillin and Gohan. Looks like a volcano, actually. I don't know if this is magma as well. It started off as chi, but this might also be magma. And the entire group is covered in debris and rocks and boulders, and they have to dig themselves out. We see Krillin first, and then we see the rest. Piccolo and Vegeta managed to stay airborne. And Krillin's wondering what happened. And he wonders if Goku really did it, if Goku really won. We had a really neat looking panel of Vegeta and Piccolo. Piccolo pointing towards the crater that Goku is standing in. It looks like there is lava flowing around Goku. Goku's in his base form, and he looks back. And Krillin and Gohan cheer on, and Goku gives a thumbs up. So everything is all good with a close to a pretty stellar chapter. I really love this chapter. So this chapter was really good. It really, in its own way, did redeem the last chapter. Although the last chapter still did a lot of work at undermining the entire arc. This really didn't fix that entirely, but it put a big band-aid on it. So I love the way this ended. If the last chapter had gone down differently, if Goku, for instance, wasn't a complete idiot, if Moro's rise to power came from legitimate craftiness, legitimate wit, him just outsmarting the opponents instead of his opponents outsmarting themselves and putting themselves on the back foot, mostly Goku, then this entire arc will be really good. I would say this entire arc would probably be my favorite arc in Super. It might still go down as my favorite arc in Super. It's not over yet. But the last chapter really did sour this arc really bad, and really did destroy Goku in a lot of ways. So, but this chapter, what all did it have good going for it? Quite a lot, actually. I liked it from the very beginning. I liked it that it started with fast-paced action. I liked that Moro's absorption abilities affected the whole planet, and that he was siphoning energy from everybody. I liked everybody's plans on getting away from the Earth. I liked the fact that everybody was doing their best to help Goku, to send him energy. They're using every ability that they had to make sure that this worked out. I like the fact that this chapter confirmed that Beerus is stronger than Goku and Moro, because he can just end this thing clean like nobody's business. Moro is at his strongest point, and the fact that Goku has been empowered back to Ultra Instinct and still is having trouble with Moro, and Beerus said he can do it before anybody even sees, before any guys even see. He's confident. That to me tells you that Beerus is still ahead of Goku by some margin. You can believe what you want, but I'm going to take that to mean that. I liked Vegeta's use of spirit fission. I feel like it should be it should be stronger than it is, but it's fine. If it's too overpowered, then you wouldn't have the dramatic conclusion of the chapter. I do wish Vegeta was utilized a bit more, but I'm actually fine with how everything turned out. I think everybody had a really good moment to shine in this chapter, even if it was really small. I like that Piccolo came in and he actually proved to be a really good strategist in terms of getting energy from everybody out of the group, and providing it to Vegeta, and also providing Vegeta with the plan of empowering Goku with this technique, siphoning power from Moro, and empowering Goku with their power. Good shit. Good shit for Piccolo. I love that this chapter included the whole group, including the not just the side characters on the battlefield, but the side characters that are support characters, such as Chi-Chi, Ox King, Bulma, Dende, Eska, and all them. And also how it looped back to Goten and Trunks. I don't really care for how Goten and Trunks don't know about this battle, but at the same time, how could they know about it and not show up? You know what I mean? So they had to have a way to write themselves out of that. And this is, I guess, the smartest way of doing that, because they haven't really been trained as well as everybody else. So maybe their chi sensing skills need just more training. Just goes to show you that these two characters have a lot of potential, and they should be the focus of the next couple arcs. We should be building these two up to be actual relevant characters into the story again. So I didn't really like Goten and Trunks. I've never really cared for them back in the Buu saga, but as Super goes on more and more, I'm feeling like not showing them off is neglect. I feel like we need to see what these two can do. You can let Goku and Vegeta, go train and learn some new stuff, come back with some new forms and stuff like that. But you can keep them off the screen for at least a chapter, at least an arc. You can keep those two off, let them do their own thing for an arc, so we can focus on different characters. And I think Goten and Trunks are primed for building up. So I hope the story focuses on them at some point soon. And I liked Jacko's, how Jacko went to help out, how his contribution mattered. I like how Oob figured into all this. Again, Oob had the best panel of him, just that simple panel of him raising his hand to the air. That in and of itself kind of changed the entire chapter for me. And although the logic of his god power being so incredible is a little bit questionable, it's fine. It's fine, because I think in the end it makes sense anyway, because his power is the Dai Kaioshin's power, and with the Dai Kaioshin being there, maybe this in effect restores Dai Kaioshin to his original level of power that he had when he fought Moro way back in the past. Maybe that somehow does that. So I don't know. It's really cool either way you slice it. And then the construct I could do without. It's a cool moment, and there was some setup for it previously, but it's just weird. Just weird that Goku would be able to use this technique with such precision. So I don't know. Like, I'm okay with that, but I'm not really feeling it. So and the end is really good. The end is really, really good. We got a happy ending. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe the whole Ultra Instinct thing could have been dropped. I don't know. I feel like this everything was overbooked to a degree, but it's fine. And we get our next chapter on December 20th, so that's going to be nice. So those are my opinions overall. As you can tell, it's going to take me some time to digest exactly how I feel about this. I'm feeling pretty good about it, but I might have to give it another couple of reads to kind of understand everything that happened and understand how I feel about it. Overall, I'm feeling pretty positive on it. I think that, again, it improved upon the last chapter to a great degree. And yeah, if this is the wrap-up chapter, if this is the legit end of Moro and this arc, then I am happy and I'm ready to move on. So I'm going to be waiting for the chapter to wrap all this up, which should be next month. Hopefully they introduce the arc after that in the same chapter. So I hope you guys enjoyed this as much as I did. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. You guys can hit me up on Twitter, YouTube comments, Discord as well. Besides that, hope you guys are doing well, taking care of yourselves and your loved ones. Till next time, guys, thanks a bunch. Peace.